The Permanent Secretary to the Ministry of Trade, Geraldine Ssali, has told the Parliament's Committee on Tourism, Trade and Industry that she is shocked that many of her staff at the ministry are getting more fuel than the cabinet ministers. Ssali appeared before this committee to answer queries on how over 357 million shillings are alleged to have been withdrawn from Total Energies using different cards. Under the leadership of Mwine Mpaka, the MP from Mbarara City South, the Committee on Trade, Tourism and Industry decided to summon the Permanent Secretary to the Ministry of Trade, Tourism and Cooperatives, Geraldine Ssali, and all officials as they investigate the alleged irregularities with the ministry. The chairperson of the Committee on Trade, Mwine Mpaka, confirmed the development, expressing concern over the misuse of government funds.
Now, I want you to tell us under what circumstances did you get 371? Who allocated you this fuel to a tune of 371? Who is issuing these fuel cards and you? So you are here basically to give us your side of the story.
Geraldine Ssali has told the Committee on Tourism, Trade and Industry that she is shocked that many of her staff at the ministry are getting more fuel than the cabinet ministers.
I have to thank your committee for diving into the line of fuel for the ministry, because since I arrived, I have also been seeing a lot of fuel transactions without understanding them, and every time I would ask for a spool or a drill down of fuel, I wouldn't get it, and I don't know why. Whether it is my staff didn't know how to use maybe the Excel spreadsheets to do an analysis of the data, and it was not analyzable, let me say, because the only time you can analyze is if it is in an Excel spreadsheet. If it is given to you in PDF or just a small printout, you cannot make an analysis.
Committee members were left in shock as the PS revealed that she is not aware of how fuel money turned into cash.
You said that you don't know how it turned into money, if it turned. How were you going to pay? How were you going to pay Deo? Were you going to write a check to him, or were you going to give him cash? So when you accepted to pay Deo, how were you as an accountant going to effect that transaction?
Ssali also presented before the committee probing the saga documents showing fuel consumption of the ministers.
When we asked the contractor, Sarik, to help us and procure a company to help us transport documents, at that moment, actually before that, that is a memo I think you found which had his alternative of putting a temporary shelter on top of the building to store records. And when he gave me the quotation, I first cleared, but then I thought, no, this is too expensive. So I abandoned the option because I didn't think it was value for money, and that the records would end up probably getting spoiled under the weather. So I asked now Deo, what do we do? He said, well, madam, I don't really know. So I posted on our forum for PSs, and I asked, does anybody have free space where I can put my records for now? And the response came through from Miss Irene Batebe, the PS of Energy. So she said to me, I am not going to give you transport, but just cater for your own transport. I'll give you the space for as long as you want.
She told the committee that she was shocked to learn from the media that some of their ministers are not receiving their monthly fuel allocations. The committee is not yet contented with what was presented by PS Ssali, and according to inside sources in the committee, more arrests may be carried out to establish who has been eating government funds.
The burden of proof now lies with the transport officers. If the transport officers can't prove that actually the three staff were the holders of those cards, then the transport officers will be held liable. And that's why we are saying transport officers report to police now, get bond. Because now whenever we make reports, we do recommendations, at times nothing is done. So we prosecute immediately. There is no need to waste time. If you can facilitate theft of 557 million, you don't deserve to be free. Yes.
The decision followed irregular multiple withdrawals of fuel at Bukoto Total Energy Station on 30th July 2022. Shakira Nalugo reporting for TV Africa.